What's going on, guys? Kalip's Tech here, coming back at you with another video. This is the beginner's guide to the Umidigi A11. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some really basic tips and tricks to help you get started when you're setting up your phone for the first time. Now, before we go any further, I do want to ask everybody watching this video to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. That being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to show you about this phone is how to change the screen lock. In case you don't know, the screen lock is basically how you unlock the phone. So right now, when we lock the phone, if I swipe up to unlock it, it's going to ask for a PIN, or I can use the fingerprint scanner. So I'm going to show you how to get the phone like this or similar depending on how you want to do it. So we're going to go to Settings, Security, and Screen Lock right here. If you already have a PIN set up, it's going to have you enter it, and if you don't, you'll set it up here. Once you get into the screen lock section, you're going to be able to choose between nothing, swipe, which is basically the same thing as nothing, pattern, PIN, or password. This, of course, is going to be up to your preference. Now, you might be wondering, how do you get the fingerprint scanner or face unlock to work? So we're going to go back to the main security menu. And right here, we got fingerprint and face unlock, and you're gonna go here to set them up. So for example, let's go to the fingerprint section. And here you can actually set up multiple fingerprints, so it'll work on different fingers. So that's pretty cool. And once you have at least one fingerprint set up, it's gonna enable the fingerprint scanner, so you'll be able to use it to unlock your phone. Pretty cool and really easy to do. The next thing I'm gonna show you is how to control the sounds. Sounds on phones, especially nowadays when they send you so many notifications, can get really disrupting, and you might wanna mute some of them, or you might want to change your ringtone, something like that. So let's take a look at how we do that. So we're going to go to Settings and Sound right here. And now we have several different volumes to choose from. Media volume basically controls whatever you're playing on your phone. So if you're listening to music, maybe watching a YouTube video, something like that, then this is how you're going to control that. The call volume is basically how loud the earpiece is when you're talking to someone on the phone. Ring and notification volume is the big one. That's where you control how loud your ringtone or notifications are. And if you're like me and just don't want to hear any random sounds from your phone throughout the day, you can always put it all the way to the bottom, which is basically muted. And then if you do that, make sure vibrate for calls is on, so you actually still get some sort of notification that you're getting a call. There's also the alarm volume. Be sure not to mute this, because of course, why would you mute an alarm? The next thing I'm going to show you goes hand in hand with the sounds, and that is the notifications. So from time to time, you might get a notification from an app that you really don't want to hear from, and I'm going to show you how to turn those off. So we're going to go to Settings once again. And this time, we're going to go to Apps and Notifications. Once we're here, we're going to go to Notifications. And now you're going to see all the apps that you recently got notifications from. You can hit this right here to see everything from the last 7 days. And here we go. These are basically the apps that you got notifications from within the last 7 days. And if you see any of them that are just getting annoying, you can come on here and just turn them off. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your wallpaper. So this is an easier thing to do. All you're going to do is go to Settings, Display, hit Advanced, and Wallpaper is right here. Now you're going to be able to choose between wallpapers that are already on the phone and things in your photos. So that's really cool to be able to have a choice. And now you'll be able to choose wallpapers that come with the phone or your photos. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to customize your home screen. This is actually really easy. There are a lot of settings from this menu I'm about to show you that you can find in the settings menu, but this is so much faster. All you need to do is press and hold any finger on the home screen itself, and this little menu is going to come up. And what I just showed you, how to change the wallpaper, actually does show up right here and takes you to the exact same page. So that's really cool. You can also change some widgets and home settings, whatever you want to really personalize your phone. I would suggest using this feature right when you get the phone so you can set it up the way you want to right away. The next thing I'm going to show you is the system navigation. So right now we got 3 buttons down here, and I'm going to show you how to either rearrange or replace those buttons. So we're going to go to Settings, Smart Assistant. Now there are 2 different sections to this. The first one is actually the navigation bar itself, which of course you're going to go to Navigation Bar. And you can choose between all these different layouts. It's actually way more extensive than most other phones that only allow you to switch these 2 buttons, the recent apps and the back button. This allows you to not only move around the home button, but also add this other little button right here. So that's really cool. The other thing you can do is activate what's called gesture navigation. To do that, you're going to hit System Navigation, and you can choose between 3-button navigation, 2-button navigation, and finally gesture navigation where there are no buttons at all. With gesture navigation, there are a few controls you're going to want to know about. The first one is how to go home. You simply swipe up from the bottom. If you want to go to your recent apps, drag your finger up instead. You can also take a screenshot in your recent apps with gesture navigation. I'm not sure how useful that really is, but it's interesting to see all the same. And finally, to go back, slide your finger from one side of the screen to the other, and it doesn't matter which side you use. This phone does have a lot of different system navigation options to choose from the regular Android buttons to the 2-button system that you don't see every day on these phones, and gesture navigation that's getting to be more and more popular. I definitely suggest playing around with these features and deciding for yourself which type of navigation works best for you and which arrangements of the buttons, if you have them, you like. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take a screenshot. The basic way to take a screenshot is by pressing and holding the power key and the volume down key at the same time. Pretty straightforward. But there's also another way to do it, so I'm going to show you that as well. So we're going to go to the Settings, back to Smart Assistant, Gesture Control, and 3-finger screenshot. With this feature activated, all you need to do to take a screenshot is go like this. So basically, that is 3 fingers spread apart on the screen and swipe it really quickly. And that's going to take a screenshot. It's a really cool feature, and sometimes it can be more convenient than pressing the buttons. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to see the storage information. This phone has a lot of storage no matter which variant you get, but it's still nice from time to time to see what's taking up space on the device. So to do that, we're going to go to Settings, in Storage right here, and you're going to be able to see not only how much actual space is being used, but also the percentage used, as well as what actually is taking up the space. So you'll be able to see, for example, the system is taking up 10 gigabytes of space, which is more than pretty much everything, and that's built in. You can't avoid taking up that space with the system. Then you can see how much space your apps are taking up, music and audio, photos and videos, all sorts of things. So it's really cool, really detailed. You can also hit Manage Storage, and here the system is actually going to give you some suggestions on how to better manage your storage. So it's really cool to be able to do that if you ever need to. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen timeout time. This is basically how long your screen is going to stay on before it automatically locks. So to do this, we're going to go to Settings, Display, Advanced, and Screen Timeout right here. You can choose anywhere between 15 seconds and 30 minutes. I suggest playing around with this and seeing which one works best for you, because it could be different for everybody. On one hand, you don't want it to be so short that it constantly is falling asleep while you're reading something, but at the same time, you don't want it to be so long that you end up accidentally leaving it on frequently and draining the battery. The last thing I'm going to show you in this video is how to change the brightness. To do this, we're going to go to Settings, Display, and the brightness level right here. You can change that to whatever you want with this little slider. You can also go to adaptive brightness. What this is going to do is adjust the brightness based on the environment you're in. Now, you may or may not want to do this. If you can charge your phone all the time and aren't concerned about draining the battery, then you can just leave it at 100% the whole time. But if you want to be efficient, then you can always turn on adaptive brightness and it's going to adjust to the exact brightness you need based on the lighting of your environment. So there's also another way to change the brightness. Instead of going to settings, you can simply open the quick menu by swiping down twice, and the brightness is right here. But this was the beginner's guide to the Umidigi A11. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.